hands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. One item on the agenda, and it's the Evagen North American Inc. expansion plan.
Yes.
Give us an update on that, Marsh?
The board asked me to, previous to this meeting, to reach out to the tenants of the new section of the corporate park to get feedback about this expansion, potential expansion, and addition to their facility. And to this point, have not received any pushback. There's been some positive talk about it and appreciative of Aviagen looking to expand in that location, which I thought was great. But as of now, there has not been any pushback on this project.
Okay.
So I guess really beyond that, we talked about following our typical protocols, buildings and grounds, pushing to full board for approval, and certainly not to put too fine a point on it. I'm asking the buildings and grounds to push this expansion project to the full board for approval.
Comments?
I don't have a problem with the plan, but based upon anecdotal information, I think we should send it to the full board and give Jay a chance to talk to them about their biological waste issues. And then we can always table it at the full board floor if we haven't got a suitable or rejected at that time. As for what we're reviewing, which is the building design, I don't have a problem with it. But there are some deed restrictions that are subject to challenge by others. And we're not here to be the enforcer unless, I think that was what we decided before, is we can enforce them, and any of our assignees, which are anyone that owns property in the park, can enforce them. So it's not solely our responsibility. So that would be mine. Let's send it to the full board floor and ask Jay to talk to them about their biological waste issue for odors, and then make a decision at the next full board floor whether we table it.
To all the
Yes.
people on that side of the park.
All positive, except for there's been one that I have not heard back from.
Okay. Then there should not be an issue.
And that'll give us time if the one individual that hasn't responded yet gets back between now and then and has a real problem with it, we can address it at the full board floor.
I'm just having trouble reading this drawing here. What is it? Any issues with setbacks in the road?
Yes.
Okay.
Ours is 75, the
Right.
town is 50. There's others that
What is this set? What's how far this addition that they're
you
proposing?
can't tell because it's not to scale, but by the looks of it, it's under 75 feet.
Yeah, I mean that's where I'm having. From a CAD drawing, they should be able to even tell us what that is. They should be able to put a line on a piece of paper that tells us what that is. Not they, but their CNS.
One of them is labeled not to scale, for what I can read, because I do the same thing, take a picture and then blow it up. But the bigger issue is there's parking in front of the building line, an expansion of
That's
parking.
been there? Oh,
Not where they're talking.
no, but they had parking out
Yeah.
front.
Yes.
Yes.
There was something, see, the problem was I shouldn't say the problem, the issue was, remember, we've had parking brought in front of us before.
Right.
But the only car freshener was the only other one in the park, so there is a sign off in Don's file for when they did the parking in front from the people that had it then. Now there's 6 other residents in the park that have that authority. So there's no question in my mind that by the appearance, it's closer than 75 feet to the front lot line.
If I can touch on that real quick, just from a relative perspective, when Mr. Valentine and I were discussing this, it looks like because they're going to be pulling out some parking and then replacing it with what appears to me like a temporary trailer parking, because you can kind of see how that angle is, or turnaround, or how they can do it, and then pulling out a number of spaces. So the net number of spaces likely wouldn't change or might be slightly reduced. The way that Ed and I actually went to the front of his property and looked at it and sort of counted and then went back to these drawings. So other than those spaces being pushed forward slightly, if you look at them, the number of spaces, there may be one or two, the number might go down. It's just that these ones would be deep, I don't know how I'd characterize it, longer parking spaces so that you could put a truck in there to back into the loading dock facility. So I'm just making that, one little thing clear as Ed and I discussed it. And there would be an improvement on the landscaping piece to further beautify the site. And I think the overarching situation being a positive development within the park as far as an expansion goes. So I just want to make sure that the record shows that this would be a positive thing for Avia.
No, I agree with it. I'm just curious as to what that setback number is. Just so
I
we
put
know.
that on the notes.
Yeah, just so we understand what that is. Perfect.
That would be helpful to have.
Yeah. They have done a nice job with their landscaping there,
Not bad, absolutely.
factory.
And it's one of those things where they did it, and so it wasn't where they put that in the plans and then the landscaping sort of fell through the cracks. So, and we're thankful for that.
Yeah, but how do we, as an agency, ensure that always gets done? I guess that's always been a question.
Another enforcement issue.
What's that?
Another enforcement issue.
Yeah. Does that fall on the town of Watertown Planning Board, which it normally would,
Yeah.
their code
Yeah.
enforcement?
Yeah.
So we would have an avenue through them.
Site plan.
Yeah,
And to be fair,
the site plan approval.
the town did a contingent based on our review.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I make a motion, we move it to the full board.
Second.
There's a motion, second. Any further comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any other business to bring before the Buildings and Grounds Committee while we're here?
I guess maybe I'll just kind of touch quickly on what Mr. Morgia has going on his thing, and I did bring it up briefly at a recent board. He's working with Town of Watertown because they had brought up a couple of issues regarding sprinklering as well as the safety on the exit door, which Alex said that he was surprised that he didn't pick up on that first, but he thought it was reasonable, and he's working with his engineers on that to make sure that would not be an issue. So, and he too has not come up with any sort of pushback on that. And the people that I've talked to, albeit not every single one, nobody had any issues with that either. So
County codes, said that the town of Watertown uses county codes, right?
I believe so.
Code enforcement,
Yeah, right.
because if you're gonna be putting 150 kids in this place, what's the rest of the use of the rest of the building gonna be?
He talked about a plumbing warehouse, kind of like Watertown Supply type place. Wasn't that what it was?
That was, so there's gonna be three businesses there.
His,
And the name is escaping me right now, but it is like, as you say,
it's coming from the Purcell Park over to there, if I remember correctly.
yeah. And then the gymnastics piece would take up about 10,000 square feet of it. So the bulk of it would be his business, and then I think it's like 10 and 10 on the warehouse and the gymnastics. And to be fair, I think it's more like 50 kids potentially, and I think that it's actually a
Whether it's
smaller
50
number.
or 10, Dave raises a good point.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just wanted
That's,
I just, you know,
It's
the only
substantial,
thing that is
because I-
apparent,
I
you're
know
down in,
several families that are involved in it.
yeah, it is substantial.
it's way down in back there, you know.
Yeah.
It's just something as a parent gets you kind of eerie thinking of all those kids down there at night in that back corner of the park. It was up front. I wouldn't have thought about it, but that's why I asked about lighting and parking and safety.
And especially since, unfortunately, probably about 9 months of the year, when they're there at 6 o'clock, he said it's like a 5:30 to 9 o'clock kind of deal. It's going to be black dark.
Yeah.
And the lighting is critical. There is some nice things about the flow, in that there's an like would be an entrance and then a separate exit. So there would be some inherently safer than say a single entrance and exit, but those are absolutely good points. So good job.
Good. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you, everyone. Stream here.